Hello, I'm Mrs. Cutler, RN, and this is Mrs. O'Neill. We are here to demonstrate a modified partial bath for the state competency. So let us begin. Hello, Mrs. Neal, it's Mrs. Cutler. I'd like to give you a modified bath today. Is that all right?
Yep, that'll be fine.
And I check her name and make sure I'm working on the correct patient. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get my supplies.
Okay.
One of the first things I will do, I've left her and I'm going to come over here and pick up my supplies. I will need a towel to cover the overbed table. I will need a washcloth, or I think I'll pick it up in order. I'll need a bath blanket to keep her warm. I will need a washcloth for the eyes, one for the body, and a rinse cloth. And then I'm going to have a towel for draping and a towel to dry. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm back, Mrs. Neal. Let me set this up here, and I am going to place my clean linens on a clean surface. Okay, I'll be right back. I want to go and get some water for you, okay? I'm going to put my gloves on. If my basin is dirty or has been used before, I'm going to make sure that I have my gloves on. In the state competency, they are all clean in this area, so I don't have to have it on until I begin to wash. Okay, so I come back to the room. I put my soap, and then I'm going to go into the bathroom area and turn my water on, feel it, check it, make sure it's correct, feel the water, fill the basin, bring it back here. Hello, Mrs. Neal, would you mind checking, making sure that water's comfortable for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great.
You want to-
So now I have my
Do you
set.
want the clean gown before we get started? Clean gown before we get started.
I'm gonna change it down.
You have to put on a clean gown when you're done.
Yeah. Don't we have that?
Nope.
No? Okay, excuse me one moment. Because we want to remember that we will be having to put a clean gown at the end of the scenario here, so I want to make sure I've got one available to me before I raise my bed. Okay, so now I've got my curtains pulled for privacy. It would be all the way around, and now we're going to begin. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover Mrs. Neal here because we're giving her a bath. Because we're only giving her a partial bath, all we have to do is cover her from the top down to the abdominal area, because it is only going to be the face, the arm, hand, fingernails, and underarm. Okay. And I'm going to, this time I'm going to put my gloves on. As I begin my work, I want to make sure my body mechanics are good, so I'm going to put her, I'm going to raise the bed up for a little better height for my back here. And because I'm going to be at her bedside, I can put my rail down. Okay, first thing I want to do is take off your gown. Okay, got that. Keeping her covered. And at this time I have to take the gown off. And as we take the gown off, we try and provide privacy by just keeping the bath blanket. Covering her as I roll this into a ball. For the state competency, we will be actually, or you will be actually taking the gown and putting it in a soiled linen hamper. I'm moving a little way from her, so I put my rail up, and I'll put that in the dirty linen. Okay. I want to be cautious because she's got glasses on, so I'm going to remove your glasses and put them in a safe place. My washcloths will go into the water. And I'm going to do a little drape under her pillow so I won't get the pillow wet. Okay, is that comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to take my first washcloth and do her eyes. No soap on the washcloth. When I'm using the 4 corners, so I have 4 separate pieces of cloth here that I can use. I'm going to be doing her eyes first. I go from the inner aspect out, and I'm going to do it twice. Inner aspect out, inner aspect out, inner aspect out, and that is completed that washcloth because we're going to put it right over there now. Now the next washcloth, excuse me just one moment, I've got to remember with my dry towel is to dry and pat dry those eyes too. So I'm going to take my towel, pat dry, get another clean piece of the towel, pat dry. Now I can still use this. This towel has still a lot of clean area on it. Now I'm going to take my next washcloth, and it's wet, and I'm going to do the rest of the face. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do up here, on the forehead, down the cheek, around the ear, and down the chin. And you can use the 4 corners or you can use the whole washcloth. I'm going to just do 4 corners on this one. Go around like this, the cheek, the ear, down the chin, and the neck. Still no soap on this. And then I just put it on the side here so I can use it again. I'm going to pick up my towel again with a clean area of the towel, and I'm going to pat dry all the surfaces of the face and neck, around the ears that I just did. Now I'm going to take my washcloth that I was using before, and I'm going to soap up all the areas. And what I want to do is make sure I drape, excuse me, I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to put the towel that was draping under the pillow, under the arm, so I keep that linen. Are you still comfortable and warm? Okay. So I have draped my linen there. I have my soapy washcloth. When I go ahead to wash, I'm going to wash down the arm, hands, fingernails, and then I'm going to do under the arm. As we wash the arm, we want to support the joints, so I'm holding on here. So I start up at the top, and as you lift up that arm, you can go underneath and come all the way down with your soapy washcloth. And then, as I do her hands, I'm going to lift her hands up here so you can see. I'm going to wash the hands, each finger. I have to do each individual finger, and then they want to see that those nails are well cleaned too. So at this time, you can use a washcloth, but if in the clinical situation, if the nails are really dirty, I would go ahead and use a emery border stick, okay? This is my rinse cloth. Now, oh, excuse me, one moment. I want to finish off. I'm going to just come over here. I'm going to hold her arm again, have it extended, and I'm going to wash under the arm and the armpit area. That is done with. Now my rinse, I'm going to hold up here, rinse the whole arm again. Make sure I get all that soap off. I'm lifting the hand up so you can see. I'm going to make sure I rinse those fingers well. Get around those fingernails. And the last part that I'm going to do, I'm going to support her up here, and I'm going to do under her arm. Okay, so we're done with that. You have options here. You can use this towel that we've been draping to dry, but I happen to have still a good dry towel here that I'm going to use. And you support the arm and the joints again. And you pat dry all the areas that you just washed and rinsed. You pat dry, making sure everything is, all the moisture is gone, and we do the last. Are you comfortable there? Yeah. Okay, under the arm. All right, and we've completed that part. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take this out from under your arm here, clean up my area a little. I have to put my gown on, so Mrs. Neal, so she'll feel all fresh. And she doesn't have a weakened arm. This bath does not designate that. Okay. However, we have to dress both arms so the gown will fit properly. Thank you. Now she's got, I'm going to move her hair. Is that too tight there?
Nope.
And I'd go ahead and I'd secure it. Now, I'm going to pull off my bath blanket so at no time is she exposed. And that will go over in my dirty area. Now I'm going to fix her up when I get back. Right now I have my gloves on, so my main thing that I want to do now, I'm going to go empty the water. Then I'll come back and straighten it up, okay? Do you have your towel like this? There we go. Okay, she's in the low position. I want to make sure. Put her glasses back on again. Whoops. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. So I'm going to go ahead. I take my water into the restroom area, dump it into the toilet, rinse it, dump it into the toilet, pat dry, and I'm going to put it in a designated area where the evaluators have told me to put it. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to take my linen, and I'm going to roll it into a ball, and I'm going to put it into our dirty linen, and put away my supplies. Now at this time, I've completed putting all my dirty equipment away, so I can go ahead, turn to the evaluator, and take my gloves off properly, put them into the trash. I have clean hands now, so I can touch clean curtains. Put my curtains back, and let me straighten up Mrs. Neal just a little better so her linen is correct. Just put this down a little, make sure she's comfortable. Are you in a good position, or would you like to sit up?
No, I think I'm good, thank you.
Okay, that's the end of the skill.